In this video, we will explain how to retrieve the mainsail from underneath, take it up onto the deck, and then attach it to the boom as well as the mast. As you can see, we've already attached the jib sail and cleared the foredeck beforehand, so the jib sail is all set to go. Next thing, like I said, we're going to do the mainsail. The mainsail is down here on the port side. So when you retrieve it, you want to come down and physically pick it up with your hands. And so Tracy, if you want to come grab the slug here, there's a black plastic part. It's called the slug. What this slug needs to do before you take the sail all the way out is to go in the opening in the boom, right at the front of the boom. The easiest way to do this is to take a little bit of the mainsail out and then bend the sail forward in order to slide the slug in. Now the slug's in, we can move back a little bit. Using a clove hitch, we've been able to tie the main sheet to the boom itself. We want to make sure that we take that off so that the slug can get through. So we remove the clove hitch so that the main sheet will be off of the boom, and then we're going to uncoil it as well. And once Ensign Tracy's done with that, we're going to drop it down so that it's out of the way. Cool. Now that the main sheet's uncoiled, we're going to go ahead and slide the slug back and take the rest of the sail out. Now that the sail is completely out, the next thing to do is to take the tack, which is the front corner of the sail, along the foot, and attach it up front here, utilizing the tack pin. In order to do this, you're going to remove the tack pin. You're going to pull the tack of the sail forward and bend it over, and then line it up with one of the holes. Any of the three is fine. Slide the tack pin all the way back through. The tack of the sail is now secured. The next thing to do now that the tack's secured is to have whoever is at the back of the sail where the clew is, which is the silver comment in the back of the sail, you're going to have them pull it back. The person up front is going to release the outhaul line, which is the thin middle line up front. It goes through the boom and attaches back here to the shackle. The person in the back is going to attach the shackle to the clew of the sail. And then you're going to take the slack out of the outhaul line and then secure it. Now the tack of the sail, the front corner is secured, and the clew of the sail, the back corner is secured. The next thing to do, now that both corners are secured, is to unroll the rest of the sail. After the sail is unrolled, you're going to bring the head of the sail, which is a gold triangle part, up to the front, up to the mast. There's also an opening in the mast. First thing you want to do is take the slide pin out, so that way you can slide the slides through. You're going to start from the top, the head of the sail, and go up. Easiest way to do this is to have one person put them in. So Ensign Tracy is going to put them in. And then another person stand behind the mast, almost like you're hugging a tree, if you will, and hold the last slide that's put in through the mast, hold that up so that they don't fall back down. When doing this, you want to make sure that if you're holding, that you give the person putting the slides in enough slack in the sail so that they can actually slide the slides through. Now that all the slides are in, Ensign Tracy's going to put the slide pin back in. When you put it back in, you want to make sure it's all the way in, just like Ensign Tracy just did. Now that slide pin's in, as you can see, the slides won't come back out of the mast, which is good. So now all the slides are in, the next thing you want to do is we're going to bring the sail over the starboard side. After the sail is on the starboard side, the next thing you want to do is we're going to open the clutch for the reef line. It's a red, white, and blue line located on the starboard side, innermost clutch. So we're going to open the clutch for the reef line. That reef line goes through the boom and attached in the back of the boom right here. As you can see, Ensign Tracy is getting slack on that line, taking it out of the back of the boom. It's what we want. There's a stopper knot in the end. This figure 8 stopper knot is very important when you de-rig the boat and put it back to how it was at the beginning, because if that stopper knot's not there and someone takes the slack out of the line, that line's going to simply go right back into the boom, and then the boom will have to be taken apart off the boat, etc., to get that line back out, and the boat won't be able to be used for a while. So now that that figure 8 knot's out, what we're going to do is we're going to find the reef tack, which is silver grommet right here. That's Tracy's going to hold that up. We're going to put it in the starboard side, the right side of that tack. Pull the slack out. And Tracy's going to go to the other side and hold this up for me. There we go. Next thing you want to do is you're going to take the end of the reef line, and on the same side of the boom that the sail's on, you're going to put it down on that side. Okay? You want to make sure that you're behind this canvas strap, and then you're going to go in between the main sheet, which is the blue line, and the boom. And pull it through. So next we're going to utilize the bowline knot, but it's a little bit modified because you're using the bowline knot to tie the reef line to a solid object, the object being the boom itself, as opposed to tying a bowline knot to just the line itself. So like any bowline knot, you have your 6. You're going to have the end of it laying on top, just like that. You're going to hold that 6 cross right there. I like to have my standing line, and then also you have a hanging line below that. So you have your 6, you have your tail pointing away from you. You're going to go first around the standing line, up through the bottom of your loop, underneath your hanging line, and then back through the top of your loop. And you're going to take the end of the reef line here, and the part that's parallel to it, and then the opposite line, and you're going to pull those. As you can see, you'll make a loop, as well as the bowline knot, as shown. After that's done, you're going to take the slack out, and now you can see the reef line is attached to the boom. And it's behind this canvas strap, that way it won't slide forward. Once that's done, Ensign Tracy's going to go ahead and drop it. And now you have your reef line attached to the boom, all set to go with that. The next step, and the final step, is taking this red line, the main halyard, off of the end of the boom, and attaching it to the head of the sail. In order to do that, we're going to come up here, we're going to release the clutch, open the clutch for the main halyard, that red line. Ensign Tracy's going to undo the shackle. It's important to note that this shackle is a little bit different than all the other snap shackles you see. As you can see, there's a pin, and when that pin is 180 degrees down, the shackle is unlocked. In order to lock that shackle again, once you have it attached to the head of the sail or end of the boom, you want to have it 180 degrees down, push that pin all the way through, and then turn it 180 degrees up, and that will lock it in. So Ensign Tracy is going to unlock it, attach it to the head of the sail, and then lock it back in. So once the main halyard is made, you're going to go ahead and take the slack out. Just enough that the slack's out of the line, but not so much that the sail starts to go up. 5-6 inches or so should be good. So that's all set to go. As you can see, now that the main halyard is off the end of the boom's pretty free to swing. So the last kind of final thing we kind of want to do in order to semi-secure the boom is you can either do it, take the main sheet, and either pull it through the cam cleat in the midships of the boat, or you can take the line, the instructor line in the back, and pull it through the cam cleat here. And as you can see, the boom is not so much free to move as it was before, which is what we want. It's more secure. And that'll do it for taking the mainsail out and attaching it to the boom and the mast.